Welcome back to Insibles, everyone. So again, going over my daily plan on exactly how I would play into the SPY. Again, having a gap up after yesterday's CPI coming in below 8.0. Again, mentioning the day before CPI that we needed a CPI below 8.0. We got that gap up, and then we had our follow through on this gap up today coming through after FTX news, again, filing for Chapter 11. So again, we're going to see exactly what happens with FTX. That could affect the markets to a certain extent, but that will not make us have a major sell-off necessarily in the market. So we are going to see if we do continue on higher to hit the upper end of our channel that we have been looking to see if we can continue on up to, since again we did get that decrease in CPI. Also mentioning in the Instables room that if we broke 390, hold above 390 on the week, then it was game over. And sure enough, as you guys can see, continuing on higher, of course, on a major decrease in CPI after all of this pressure selling off, we were going to continue on higher, and of course we have been. So our question from here is, are we going to have a slight pullback to hit our 20 once again, or are we just going to continue on higher into next week? I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for here. Now, before I jump into this, you guys can do me a huge favor, smash that like button if you find this video useful at all. Hit subscribe if you want to see my daily plan on exactly how I plan on playing into the market every single day. We go over candle structure, overall strength levels, and any key indicators that we need to be focused on. And again, if you are a day trader or you are looking for very volatile breakouts that we mention every single day in the Instables, and again, we mention any breakout that is worth looking at throughout the day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. So jumping into the daily chart with you guys here on the SPY, if you guys have been following, then you guys know exactly where I'm headed. I'm going straight to the dollar. Again, that has been our number one indicator against the SPY, again, showing us weakness on the dollar, which gives us strength in the market. As you guys can see, again, dropping below our 50 for the second time that we have been mentioning this week. Again, we mentioned our 20 dropping down for the second time prior. We had this rally to the downside because we dropped below our 20. So now, again, dropping below our 50 for the second time with our 20, crossing below our 50 and getting that rejection here just on our 20, having a breakout to the downside yesterday, and then now having a follow through, now testing to see if we continue on with this strength to the downside, and again with this weakness on the dollar after all of this room that we have had to run. Are we going to get a bounce on the dollar leading into next week to possibly get weakness on the SPY? That's what I would be asking myself. As you guys can see, again, having major moves to the downside. Again, we do have corrections technically whenever there are overreactions to the downside. So are we going to get a bounce here? As you guys can see, testing a very key point that we did have a breakout from exactly here at the end of the day. So again, looking to see if we continue on below 106, but then right after 106, we have a very key level at 104. We are going to make sure we are careful on pullbacks, making sure that we do not continue on above 106. If we do continue on below 106, again, if we have a pullback above 106, back on the dollar, then we could be retesting our 20-day moving average, continuing on lower here and looking for another possible bearish setup or a possible bounce back in the dollar if, again, things get significantly worse, which, again, however, with a lot of strength in the market after CPI, we will see exactly which level we hit next. But again, keeping 106 and 104 on the watch on the dollar, making sure that we do watch that, again, for strength in the market or weakness. Now, jumping back to the SPY, if we are looking for a target that we would possibly hit and get a rejection from, as you guys can see, we have the largest and strongest point here on our VPBR showing us that this is the key level that we're looking for here at 406 if we are looking for a possible rejection, which also is exactly here on the upper end of our channel. So again, our same narrative here. If we do continue on above 406, then we would be looking for that bullish candle setup here on the daily chart if we're continuing on higher. So again, keeping this channel on the watch, making sure that we do not get a rejection like we did prior. So again, looking at our overall strength from here, I would be looking at the MACD here. As you guys can see, we do have our EMA lines that are pointing up. Again, we mentioned that where we're looking for newer highs here on the MACD on the daily chart, got newer highs. We got newer highs again yesterday. We mentioned that we got newer highs showing us a lot of strength, confirming here again with that increase in buy pressure that we mentioned from yesterday and having that confirmation here. And now again, increasing with that strength. Now looking to see if we do continue on with this overextension that we have, again, showing us an overextension because we do have our buy pressure a little lower than prior. So showing us that we are overextended. Does not mean that we don't have room to run to the upside, but it does mean that there's going to be some type of pullback at some point, and then we will look for, again, that bullish candle setup, in my opinion, above our up and over channel if we do reach that point. And also now looking at the RSI, very much that same point here. If we do continue on higher, in my opinion, if we are overbought, then we are going to be looking for that possible setup on the upper end of our channel. So again, just looking for that bullish candle setup here, looking for resistance from there and looking for that better setup is going to be exactly the play at about 406. So again, a very nice run in the market after a decrease in CPI below 8.0, again, hitting 7.7. That does not mean that inflation can't get worse. Again, there's a lot of talks about rent inflation and housing inflation possibly getting worse. And again, Jerome Powell, one thing I've told a lot of people, and I haven't heard many people really talk about, which again, Powell mentioned a couple of months ago that we need a housing correction. If you don't believe that we've had a housing correction, then I would say that you would probably expect some type of rocky road ahead. So we'll see exactly what happens next, if inflation is under control or if we do possibly have more ahead of us. So again, just making sure we are staying cautious, watching our levels is going to be very key. And again, happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. I appreciate all you guys for serving our country. Much love to every one of you guys. Again, if you guys are day traders or you guys are looking for very volatile breakouts, we mention them every single day in the Instables room. Go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. And again, all of you Instables that come over every single day and support the channel, hope you guys do have a blessed weekend. I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel every single day. We will continue to take what the market gives us. Again, staying consistent is our number one key. Very cautious this week with CPI, last week with Powell. But again, we have no major data. We have jobs reports coming out next Thursday, but no major data coming out for the next few weeks till December's rate hike, which again, we are now anticipating that possible decrease in rates. So we'll see exactly what comes into next week. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.